Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mike Colleen at MikeColleen.com, and today we're going to talk about my dating relationship business. I had a good discussion with someone online who's been following me, subscribing, and she's made a lot of comments lately. In fact, I'm going to bring up her name right now. Let's see. Or her channel's name. It's Miss Ames. She's been watching some of my videos. One is The Big Lie, dating and relationship coaching. And that's one of my smallest videos on it. I get really informative, and she's blown away by the few videos that she's seen so far. So one of my risks, or one of my fears that I'm facing right now in this video, is that I wasn't sure if I could go back to my dating and relationship business after I got all these people following me for the narcissist abuse stuff. I've had a tremendous response. So what I've made a decision to do is to not do an either or do a separate page or anything. I was about to make a separate page just for men because you have to talk different to men, but I thought, no, it's too much of a pain in the butt to do it. And I know right now there's a lot of women out there that want to understand what is going on. What's her name? Miss Ames. Let's see, Ames S1. She is blown away at what she has seen and heard. And I'm going to read something off. But for that, I wrote back to her. So I'm kind of talking fast because I'm inspired. I'm inspired right now, and I'm pretty pumped up. Let's get our candle going here. All right, and let's get the, I call it Mota, even though it's not Mota. Yeah, let's do the big one. All right, it says, this is Mountain Sage. Get rid of all the evil spirits and stuff. Okay, hold on one second. Let me get you back. Okay, there we go. All right, so let's get this going. All right. All right. All right, so I had a really good experience talking to her. She's been making a lot of comments on different videos. I decided I'm going to pick this video because it made a really long comment. And okay, here's what's been going on with me. I'm really fired up for both businesses. So I'm going to intermix and combine both of them. So my heart and soul is in the new discovery that I made on teaching men how to open up to the right brain. And I'm going to say this for the man's perspective. See, this kind of thing, I kind of have to speak one way for the man, one way for the woman, but I'm just going to go with it, okay? So for men, you might be thinking, well, why do I have to open to my right brain? Because that's the way a woman receives emotional fulfillment, okay? You have to learn the hidden right brain language. And here's the thing, ladies, you are not aware that men do not speak that language, okay? So you want him to romance you. Well, romance to a man is paying for dinner, buying things. Because remember, the male brain is the external brain, and that's what you guys call thingies or things. It's not valuable. It's funny because it could be a $2 million diamond ring. You'll value it for a while, but you won't feel emotional fulfillment until he learns how to express and communicate in a way, in the right brain, in the internal hidden way. There's another thing that women do. You guys go left and right, okay? Left brain then to right. He doesn't do that. He's in his left brain. And when you switch over, you are now suddenly speaking a foreign language to him. That's why you will go, come on, keep up. And he's like, keep up to what? What are you talking about? Okay, until I learned this, I was just like the average guy. I'm going to say it real briefly right now. In the next upcoming videos, I may break this down. We, as men and women, are wired neurologically different in every way you can imagine. We are sexually turned on in the opposite way. So he tries to turn you on, romance you, as you will, in the male way that romances and turns on a man, because to him, that's romance. To him, that's how you turn someone on. But it's not the way you turn a woman on. And women try to, all right, here's the biggest mistake women make. The biggest mistake. You know how you like to tease men sexually? Oh, no. Oh, no. Don't do that. I call it the cat and mouse game. It rips a man's heart out. He literally thinks you're trying to hurt him on purpose, using the most personal, intimate, sensitive thing you can do. And you're like, well, what's he so mad about? I'm just trying to turn him on. Oh, no. Now, here's the funny thing. When I try to teach men what's called double pictures, where you say A, but you don't mean A, you mean something different, B, something deeper, more meaningful, where A is symbolic, a lot of men get mad. They're like, why would anyone? And I literally at this table had a client. He was about 50 years old. He slammed his fist on the table because he just went through his third divorce. And I could tell by the way he goes, why would anyone say something and not mean it? He goes, that's fucking nuts. And he slammed his fist on the table. And he stood up and he stormed out and slammed the door. And on the way, he goes, you're crazy. I could tell that his ex-wives were doing the same thing, thinking that men do that. Ladies, when you play that game, well, no, it's not even a game. When you communicate and process in the right brain way, he's just looking at you like, why don't you just tell me what you mean? Why do you got to play this game? Why do you got to spin around? Why do you got to beat around the bush? In your world, you're not beating around the bush. You're looking at him like, what are you talking about? So that's, I'm going to reopen this whole thing for tonight. I'm going to go and I'm going to read off this that I do with Miss Ames, okay? So she said, honestly, I learned some things from this. And this was a short video. It was like a 4 minute and 50-second video. So it's The Big Lie, Part 1, Dating and Relationship Coaching. I don't know if I said Part 1 before. So The Big Lie, Part 1. And it's one of my earlier videos where I didn't know what I was doing. So let me make sure it's turned down enough. Okay. So she says, honestly, I learned some things from this. So I'm just going to read. I don't normally like to read. In fact, I'm going to pull this forward. Try to lean forward so far. I wish more guys heard this. It's not bad way we think. We try to help and they refuse to listen. So I said, this is me now. As you now know from watching some of my videos, men and women are speaking two separate languages that are so completely different. We can't understand each other. The challenge is the way women communicate, men don't understand. Here, ladies, when I say we're speaking two different languages, I literally mean that. And again, I'll break that down in another video. There's the linear external language and there's the internal, nonlinear, expansive, meaningful, emotionally fulfilling right brain language, okay? It's going in two different directions, all right? So we're speaking two separate languages that are so different we can't understand each other. The challenge is the way women communicate, men don't understand. So when you try to help them, it sounds off to them, like a little like, what are you talking about? Isn't it like, because women try to get men to communicate in this way, and men are looking at you like, what are you doing? Like they think you're not speaking proper English, all right? Because men are thinking left brain. Cross the T, dot the I's, put the comma in the right place. And a lot of clients of mine will come to me, well, not a lot. Some will say, well, I've got my degree, my master's in communication. If it's all about communication. No. Not perfect left brain, logical communication. Okay, we're not talking about that. So I said, so they don't listen. And they can't listen until they take my course. They won't understand. In fact, they will actually hear the opposite of what you are saying. See the challenge? This is why my course is so groundbreaking. There is finally an answer for men to learn how to open up to the right brain and speak the internal, mentally stimulating and emotionally fulfilling female language. So you can get romance, so you can have clarity in communication, so you can be turned on in that special way. Now, men, you might be thinking, what does communication have to do with it? Okay. Our mating systems are in the lower reptilian brain. I've said that a million times. For men, their mating system connects to the two optic nerves and connects to their eyes, so we are externally turned on by the way a woman moves her body, or by the way her body looks, okay? So our mating system is connected to our visual system, so we get turned on visually, and it's external visually. Female mating system has a nerve that curves off to her right brain. Now, proper English is left brain. That does not turn a woman on. It's when you break the rules. That's what the right brain's all about. It's about poetry. Poetry does not speak normal English, perfect, cross your T, dot the I's, put the comma in the right place, put a period. In fact, it's the complete, it smashes all the rules, okay? So her nerve curves off to her right brain's communication center. So a woman is turned on by her ears, but only in the hidden language. And I had one guy go, I know what you're talking about. And he did it in front of his wife, and she just rolled her eyes. You mean that double entendre? And I'm like, and I kind of like, yeah, kind of. That's not it. It's a lot more to it. All right, so let me continue. So this is why my course is so groundbreaking. There is finally an answer for men to learn how to open up to the right brain and speak the internal female language for clarity, understanding, romance, love, and sensual female seduction that really turns women on and melts her heart, giving her emotional fulfillment. It creates meaningful relationships, okay? This is, guys, this is what a woman says when she wants you to sweep her off her feet. It has to do with communicating in a way that just melts her heart. And I use the word seduction for men because the word romance for women it's like saying hola and hello. Same thing, just using two different languages. These are two different languages. Do you know what a man thinks? Remember, the left brain is about rules, structure, and organization. When he brings that word romance that you say out of your right brain over to the left brain, he's hearing rules. Romance to a man is be a good boy, open the door, wash your car, get your hair cut, put on a nice fresh pressed dress shirt, look good, because the male mating system is visual. It's all about looks. You're right, ladies. It all is about looks. So he thinks, well, then I got to open the door to the restaurant and I got to let her in first. These are the rules. Step 1, step 2, step 3. That is not romance, and it is not romantic, which means it does not turn her on. But when I use the word seduction, he goes, wait, seduction? What are you talking about? Because otherwise he's going to open the door, he's going to pull the chair out, and you're going to order dinner. He might even order it for you if you like, and then he'll pay for this expensive dinner, and now he's ready for sex. Or now he thinks, okay, well, I've played by the rules, I've followed the steps, and I went step 1, step 2, step 3, so now it's my turn to get sex. That's what men think romance is. I know because I'm a man, and that's what I thought. And every single client I've worked with for almost 28, 29, 30 years now, they all say, when they learn what romance means, it blows their fucking mind. All right? Opening doors, paying for dinner is at the very, 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 very bottom. That's like step 1, guys. Okay? They think that's all the steps. No. So romance in the male language literally means seduction. Now, that word is very touchy, and I've been very leery of using it. But if I don't speak his language, he's just going to do the same thing, and you're going to go, "Oh my God, he's so boring. Oh, he doesn't give me mental stimulation, emotional," because he doesn't know what the hell that means. Mental stimulation, emotional fulfillment, meaningful communication. You guys are on planet freaking Mars as far as men are concerned. Okay, so he can learn this. Let me just continue. So, do you see why it's been so hard for me to get my business where I want it? And I said I could use help from women making more posts on my videos, and also like this woman has been commenting, and recently a couple other women who found me through narcissist abuse have been also like, "Wow, that's really cool. I didn't know that. I never heard this before." And that's what you're going to find when you take my course for women. You're going to realize like you've never heard any of this stuff before. It's all new. It's all different. And it's the answer that you've been looking for. So I said I could use help from women making more posts on my videos and also testimonials from my website and my books. I also need to get women involved, as in taking women's workshops. And that's what I want to do. I want to get workshops going. I'm here in the San Francisco Bay Area. I don't care if we do it out of your living room with a group of your friends, for $75 or $100. It's about a 4-hour course, maybe 5 at most, for women. And then after that, we could do individual coaching or relationship understandings workshop. So I really, really do want to get that 1 4 or 5 hour workshop going for women. So if you guys have a group of women, or you want to get together, whether we rent some space at a hotel or do it in your living room, whatever, let me know. And I'm willing to fly out to other parts of the country. Okay. All right. So I could use help from women, blah, blah, blah. I also need to get women involved, as in taking women's workshops and taking videos of women saying exactly what you are saying, or what she's saying in her comments she's been making for the last few days. To a woman, all of this is so clear and so obvious. To a man, he doesn't understand any of this. Sad, but true. P.S. Thank you for making these posts. So here's the deal. Whenever I teach this course to women, they get it. Automatically, right away, instant. It's like, oh, no wonder. It's like, it's like it'll be something you never understood, and always like, why do men do that? When I explain it to you, you get it. Here's why: because you're left and right brained. Okay, he's stuck in his left brain. The number one goal is to teach him some processes and exercises he can do to open up to his right brain. Okay, and then I've got to teach them the internal language, and then I've got to teach them how to process in what's called double pictures. You say A, but you don't mean A, you mean something more meaningful, B. This is just the beginning. There's a couple more things that women do unconsciously in communication that you're not even aware of consciously, okay? But you understand it instantly. Women have 80% of this already. So when I teach this course to women, it's the funnest thing in the world to me. Because okay, with a man, I don't want to. I just want to. I got to say the word. It's a nightmare in the beginning. The first 2 or 3 days it's a nightmare because they don't understand it. They're looking at me like I'm the one that's nuts, and I'm like, well, is paying for dinner like what happened? We've been divorced 3 times. You bought a Ferrari. You bought a $4 million home, and she still. I know a guy who even more expensive home, way more money. He went through a second divorce, and I know another guy. I know these are clients of mine, multi-millionaires. And the thing is like they don't get it. It's not about money. Every woman wants an awesome house. They want an awesome car. They even want a second house and the second awesome car. I'm not saying you don't like those things. You do. But I'm telling you, if you don't get mental stimulation and emotional fulfillment and get that emotionally bonding experience with him that just melts your heart, fulfills you emotionally, you're not going to stay with him after a while, after 5 or 10 years. You're like, fuck this. I'm done. Right? Especially with communication, where you say something out of your right brain and he takes it over to the male processor, which changes the meaning to everything you just said. These are two different processors. They process completely differently, like the Apple computer versus the linear IBM computer. When you go to your right brain and say, and you talk out of this brain, I'm going to call it A, he brings all those words over to his left brain and it unconsciously process it in a completely different way, and it gives a different meaning to each word that you just said. Romance to a man does not mean what romance means to a woman. Let me tell you, it does not. And that's just one word of all the words we speak, okay? So, let's see here. So she goes, yes, I do see why. I'm going to dig deeper. It's helping me too. I appreciate that you'd like our help. That alone can help the communication barrier. And like you said, we use full view, both left and right brain. It would benefit men to learn that. It's not just catering to us. I understand what she means. Men, because men don't understand this, they think, oh, you just want me to cater to you. No, guys, men, if you're listening right now, this will put a form of power in your hands, in your body, that you never even knew existed. That's everything that she's looking for in a man. This is the secret that you've been looking for your entire life. Okay. So let me so then I say, well, number one, that is the biggest challenge to the human male species. It takes work for, oh yeah, this is what I was going to say. The course for women is about 4 to 5 hours max. The same thing that he has to learn to be on the same page as you is about 30 plus hours. And then he has to practice and practice and practice. And it's like developing a skill set, a series of skills. But the main thing is getting his brain, I don't know why Siri just kicked on, is getting his brain to understand this stuff first, to see it and to go, oh, no wonder. All right, let me go back. So the biggest challenge to the human male species, it takes work for men to learn how to do this. Number two, that's what I specialize in. That is the creme de la creme of what I do. I have mastered this art because it's extremely hard to teach a male and help him learn how to open up in this right brain way. They can learn, but it takes a commitment on his side. Here's the things, ladies. You cannot make a man take this course. He has to want to do it. And sadly, the majority of my clients over the years, and I mean 8 out of 10 men, are those who just went through their second divorce or third divorce, and are generally close to 45 and older. Because at that point, their testosterone's lowered enough. See, when men are young, they have high testosterone, and it jams them in that closed door left brain way of thinking. And so they're very linear, logical, and external, and they do that laser beam thing where they poke you in the face with their eyes, and you're like, whoa, dude, give me my, and they lean forward and all that stuff. When a man gets a little older, his testosterone goes through phases every few years where it lowers and it lowers. And when it does it enough, then he's kind of opening up to his right brain, but he's not conscious of it. But he's open. It literally helps them to become open-minded. Because when they're younger, I've got it all figured out. I don't need to learn this crap. I've heard that a million times. And they always come back to me years later. Their girlfriend left them, this and that. Like, man, it was exactly what you said. Like, geez. All right. So, okay, so hold on a second. I've mastered this art because it's extremely hard to teach a male and help him learn how to open up to his right brain in this way. They can learn, but it takes commitment on his side. But once he gets the hang of it, it does get easier. He moves along it does get easier as he moves along. Let me turn that up a little bit. Get the lighting down. And women were as he moves along, and women were born with more neurological connections between the left brain and the right brain. Thus, it's easier for women to switch from left to right. That's why a woman can be logical, math, science, and intellectual, and then she switches over to the deeper, five senses, more descriptive internal language, which I teach men how to be more descriptive. Instead of when he comes home from work and you say, "Hey, honey, how was your day?" He's like, "Oh, it's a pretty good day. I had a good day." And you're like, "And?" See, the left brain goes, "Good day," because the left brain's language is very short and to the point. This is literally to the point language. Have you ever heard a man say, "Get to the point"? That's his left brain talking. The right brain is bigger picture, and it wants to know the purpose, the bigger picture purpose, okay? So, so this is, again, where the challenge is. So let me continue on. Okay, so women can switch from left to right. So when you switch over to your right brain, you guys are on two different pages. There's no communication. There's no clarity. When I teach a man how to open up to his right brain and speak the internal language, bam, you got clarity. And he learns how to be more descriptive instead of just saying, "I had a pretty good day," or, "Oh, we went fishing. It was awesome. It was great." I teach him how to break it down, express it, and describe the picture in detail. So now you can have a sense of what he was feeling in his emotions and what he experienced. All right? So you're on the same page. So trying to tell a man what this is like trying to explain what something looks like to a blind person. Until he actually opens up, he won't actually understand it just as much as until a blind person can open their eyes and see. They won't actually understand or know what is being described to them visually because they're blind. But a man can learn how to open up to his right brain, and he can strengthen that connection. And when he does that, then all of this stuff suddenly makes sense. Like his whole world goes, "Oh my God." So we got another long one here, but let's keep going. So she says, Miss Ames, glad you found this important enough to get this out. I can tell already, like, she still doesn't quite get, like, Miss Ames, you don't quite get it. Like, you will in the next piece. You still don't get it. This is not an easy thing. Men and women are so different. And we view the world the way we view the world. So we assume, well, so do you. Oh, no. No. Radical different processors, radically different perceptions, radically different neurological mating system wiring, and other systems that are different. And different parts of our brain are more developed than theirs, and his brain's more developed than yours. And not his brain, but a part of his brain. I'm not going to go into now because this is already pretty long. So let me go. So she goes, "Is it okay? Glad you found this important enough to get this out. Something that is helpful to both male and female." Yes. She says, "I believe you are the first." I am the first. "If this bridge could be gapped, imagine what we could accomplish." Yeah. "Solve our planet's fate together." Yes. Honestly, I'm going to win a Nobel Peace Prize if I ever get this business off the ground and I reach the world. Ladies, it's up to you. You've got to help me, okay? We've got to make videos, do workshops. We've got to get off the ground. This is very right now. It's urgent. Funny original videos on their own timing. Look at God. Then she says, "Is it from the extra estrogen we get in utero?" I'm making an educated guess. Well, I'm not 100% sure what she meant by that. But there is something that triggered. So I'm going to read this part. It's going to be a little shocking. Okay. I learned this in a church. I just went to this random church. I used to go to church all the time, like all the time. And when the pastor said, I thought, "Oh, bullshit." I thought it was bullshit. I was in college studying psychology and the brain and stuff. And sure enough, he was right. So let me get to it. I answer, I say, this is me talking now. I say, well, this is going to shock you. When the female's body recognizes the baby as a male, it douses the child's brain with testosterone to kill it. And what that does, it damages the corpus callosum, the bundle of nerves that connects the right side of the brain to the left side. So there's a bundle of nerves in between that connect the two sides, okay, which allows communication to go across. So women have a lot more neurological connections and go left and right, left, right. The male brain, they don't have as many, okay? I believe some males, and I think I'm one of them, we have more neurological connections than the average male. But men can learn how to do this unless they're an extreme case, okay? So, and that would be a narcissist, okay? So this is why men literally completely misunderstand women. When you switch to your right brain, he's stuck in his left logical brain's processor. Thus, no matter what you say, he unconsciously processes your right brain communication, brings it over to the left brain's logical processor, thus changing the meaning to everything you just said. All right? You said A out of your right brain, and he brings it over here, and this processor changes the meaning to everything you just said, and he will argue to death that you said B. Sound familiar? Have you ever had an argument and a discussion where you're saying this and he's thinking you're saying, and you know that you're saying this, and you also know, because you're a left and right brain person, you can switch. And you're like, oh, he's hearing this out of this brain. And you're like, no, that's not what I'm saying. And he was like, yes, you are. You said this, and this means that. The right brain, A means A.
My mistake. I meant to say the left brain. The left brain is the direct brain. So A means A, and that's it. There's nothing more meaningful or deeper. So when a man listens to you, he takes what you say literally as if that's what you mean.
It's A. So if you said A is red, A is red. The right, so the right, that's the left brain process. The right brain says A means something else, B more meaningful, more deeper. That's a long process to explain to a man, okay? So in a million years, you cannot convince him. So I know, I'm going to say it right now, this is the reason. This is the number one reason why men and women argue and fight to the point that they finally divorce. The other reason is he does not give you emotional fulfillment through the hidden right brain, emotionally fulfilling communication. He doesn't do it. And then on top of it, there's a couple other things, but there are things that when you figure them out, you're like, oh my God, you can bring back that romance, that passion, seduction, that sexual stimulating, mentally stimulating, emotionally fulfilling, meaningful communication and connection that you've always wanted in a relationship. You remember the first year and a half of your relationship where you guys were on fire? And you couldn't wait to be with him and go to the movies and go to dinner and make love and go to parties and talk to your friends together and blah. You can recreate that. It's not even recreating it. It's reconnecting that. Okay? Once you understand these pieces and he learns how to do them to give you your fulfillment and stimulation, bam. Clarity, understanding, romance, passion, all that. Okay? So let me keep going here. You said he'll argue to death that you said B. Sound familiar? Hey, if you really want to understand what's going on, you have to read my 2 books for women. One's called Why Men Just Don't Get It, and the other one's called Every Woman's Battle, The Need for Love and Emotional Fulfillment, on the women's page. Okay, you can go on a homepage. If you scroll down, there's 2 big pictures. One's the men's dating relationship books. The other one's the women's. And also at the top says men, women. So if you click on women, it'll have drop down, go to women's ebooks. They are ebooks. You can automatically download them. And they're on sale, not quite 50% off, almost. So, and yes, I am the very first person to teach this on this planet. It's extremely hard to teach this to men, but I got to say something. But to women, not only is it easy to teach you understand it almost immediately. Maybe not right away, but it's so easy, so smooth. The workshop for women is fun. There's a lot of laughs. There's a lot of laughs. A lot of like, oh my God, is that why men do that? Oh, that's crazy. There's a lot of aha moments, and there's a lot of emotional healing. A lot of times, believe it or not, a man will love you in the male version, the external linear way, with all his heart and all his soul, and you will think he's purposely trying to hurt you. That's how different we are. We're not trying to hurt you. We just think, well, this is the way my mating system and my brain and my emotional system is wired. This is love. And she's like, no, it's not. That's not love. I know you've screamed at a boyfriend in high school or college or maybe even a husband. And I know you men have heard that before. I know I have. So no matter how hard we try, guys, in fact, for men, the harder you try to love a woman in the male way, the more hurt, and the more she's going to think that you don't love her or care about her at all. And that's not true. That's very sad. A lot of people get divorced because of this. This is the answer you've been looking for. Guarantee it. So, and yes, I'm the very first person to teach this on the planet. It's extremely hard to teach this to men, but I finally, over years and years of practice and application, working with men, discovered what a man has to go through and do in order to open up to this over time. His entire world will suddenly shift. Now, mind you, I am trained in top technologies, and I don't mean I went to a workshop. I trained for 12 plus years. That was after college studying psychology, okay? NLP, Ericksonian hypnosis, timeline therapy, different levels of communication, consciousness work, and stuff. Believe it or not, but it was a Buddhist monk that gave me one of the biggest tips that made me go, oh, and it was something that I had learned before in a 5-week training, but I didn't quite understand its application until this monk did it with me and my girlfriend at the time, my ex-girlfriend now. And I suddenly like, oh my God, no wonder why men aren't understanding what I'm saying. It was the biggest doorway opening in the world. Okay, so let me almost done. So his entire world was suddenly shift. Everything he believed a woman liked, thought, experienced, and what she said is now suddenly a realization that he was way, way, way off. He will unconsciously reprocess all of his experiences with women, from his mother to his sisters, aunts, his memories of his female teachers to his ex-girlfriends, co-workers, you name it, through this new way of processing. He will literally have a meltdown and suddenly go into a trance like reprocessing, going through all these memories from childhood, okay? Viewing them, processing them from this internal right brain female way, and have a ton of aha moments in that moment, okay? I will literally sit here working with a client and he'll get quiet, like not just verbally, but also like his brain activity stops. And his invariably his head will drop down. He'll look left. He'll look right. He'll look. And when the man does that, I get real quiet and I just sit back and I let him process. It may take 15 or 20 minutes before he finally comes up and goes, "You're not going to believe this. Oh my God. When my girlfriend said this, I thought she meant that, but she really meant this. My teacher used to get mad at me and I could never understand. I was trying to make her happy when I was doing this, and she got mad because she thought I was doing that." All these memories from when little child, when his mommy got mad at him and he didn't understand fucking why. He was trying to make her happy, or he thought he understood her, just like a husband. How many times have you had a fucking experience with your husband where you guys had this deep conversation, you got mad, we're going to talk about this after dinner tonight, we're going to finally, deal with this, and you have this conversation, and you both think you're on the same page. When you said A, he was hearing B. So the whole time he's thinking you're saying this, and he's like, I understand, I'm glad we had this conversation, and you're thinking, oh, he finally understands this, oh my God, he finally understands, only for the next day. He does the same fucking thing, and you get pissed off, and you're like, I thought we just talked about this. Or maybe it was the other way in reverse. And you're like, we did. We went over this in depth last night. He's not hearing what you're saying. I am telling you. But he can learn how. And that is the cool thing about all of this. So let me get back. He will literally have a meltdown and suddenly go into a trance-like state, reprocessing, going through all these memories from childhood, viewing them from the internal female right brain way, and have a ton of aha moments. In this moment is my greatest reward. It's my personal, most meaningful emotional reward for the work I do with men. People say, why do you do this work? It's that moment when he gets quiet. When he finally clicks, he opens up to his right brain and he goes through that pre-processing and seeing everything from the female's perspective and understanding it and hearing it from the female's perspective and seeing things from that. It's like when a man goes, it's just like I want to burst out and I just want to shout for joy. But I get quiet and I let him go through that. And I literally use it like this, right? That's the most rewarding thing in the world for me. So let me wrap it up with one more paragraph. Two more. It's very, very hard, and you would not believe. It's very, very hard, and you would not believe the technologies. I have to use all these different psychology, hypnosis, NLP, all this different stuff that I learned from a Buddhist monk, and on and on. I have to use all these techniques and technologies in concert, like a conductor leading an orchestra. How I have to hit every word, every note, every rhythm on beat all at once in a flow, a dynamic flow that finally opens him up. He pops. And that's my reward when I watch that happen. I am working with multiple parts of their personality and different parts of their brain at the same time. It's like talking to a dozen people at the same time, and it's fucking awesome. It's my greatest joy in life. I put my entire heart and soul for over 20 plus, probably 25 plus years, 25 plus years to discover, create, and perfect this process. You can call me if you want. Okay, this is for her. You guys can too. Or you can buy my books for women. P.S. You can keep asking questions. It's okay. I fucking love my work. Sorry about the cussing, but I was in a real inspired moment. Now she says, up here, wouldn't it be great if you could gap, where does she say it? You are the first. If this bridge could be gapped, imagine what we all could get and accomplish, etc., and for the world. Yeah, and so I respond to that. It can be gapped, quadruple exclamation mark. I know for a fact, quadruple exclamation mark, not only myself, but most of my clients, they get it. They understand it. Some, 1 out of 10, don't get it. Because I recently realized those are narcissists that couldn't get it because it's all about opening up to your right brain, your emotional processor, which narcissists avoid. They don't want to go there. The creative spiritual brain and narcissists don't want to do that. So there's a built-in safety valve. Thus, only heart-based men get it and learn it and can do it. Isn't that cool? Ladies, I'm telling you right now, there is an answer to create a man, to teach him how to become this person that will answer and fulfill all your needs. And I know what you mean. A lot of men think, she wants more money. Well, here's what I tell men. There are financial needs. And yeah, we do like nice things. Everyone does. Even men do. We like brand new cars and brand new guitars and, whatever you're into, right? But that's not love. And I understand what you mean when you say, I need all my needs met. You mean I'm just going to say it, mentally stimulating and emotionally fulfillment through communication, through expression, through talking. It can be romantic. It can be extremely seductive. A lot of men are like, what are you talking about? See, the male form of seduction is not seductive to a woman. It turns her off. It's too direct. It's too graphic, right? So there's no reason why men do it that way. It's because of the way our mating system is wired. It's also the way our visual system is wired, our visual processor. Here's the deal. He has to want to learn this, okay? I've had people go, I'm going to teach it. Like, oh, no. It took me a long time to figure this out. And I'm the master of what I do. And I'm talking about NLP, hypnosis, timeline therapy. I'm really good at what I do. And it took all of that and then picking all of this and diving into understanding the difference between men and women. Why, like even approaching a woman, men do it in this linear male way, and they're up in our head, and we do this, and we're really tight, and laser beam our eyes about, like right there. I already know you don't like that. I teach men how to go out, not only visually, but kinesthetically, emotionally, how to expand out and drop his awareness inside him. Therefore, there's no pressure on you. His awareness is here and in a comfortable space around him. Therefore, you have your space. There's so much to this. It's everything you guys have wanted. It's everything women have been screaming about. Oh, there's something I saw the other day that men don't get. It's like, men irritate women. I'm just going to say it. I'm going to say it. Men irritate the fuck out of women because we're too pushy, we're too linear, and we're speaking in this nasally kind of voice, and it brings you up in your head, and you're like, oh my God, I got a headache. Guys, you unconsciously, when you're being a male, you're driving her nuts. In the beginning, she could put up with it for the first year, and then after a while, she's like, oh my God, I can't do this anymore. you can learn how to romance her. So for men, buy my book, Cracked Female Code. Better yet, get the ultimate package. It will be the best $75 you have ever spent in your life. Do it. Hey, this is Mike Colleen at MikeColleen.com. Ladies, if you're on here, will you please make some comments on this video? I would really appreciate it. Click subscribe if you haven't already. You need to communicate with me. Let me know what you're liking, what you like about it, what you heard that you liked, that made sense, something that you heard for the first time that you understood. I need some feedback. You need to talk to me, okay? Subscribe, click like, make a comment, talk to me, okay? Let's do some workshops and see you guys soon. God bless you.